Hi friends, this is Simone. Welcome to this very new YouTube series, The Making Diaries. Paper, fiber, food. I was inspired to create a weekly roundup of all the things that I have been making by my friends Angie, who does the Yarn and Yarn YouTube channel, and she posts weekly vlogs of all the things she has been doing in fiber crafts. Since I only knit and crochet this tiny fraction of the week, I have always thought of a way to incorporate everything else. And when my friend Tina just recently started a weekly blog post where she shared everything that she has been doing this past week, I was absolutely inspired to try the same, but for paper, fiber, and food. So in this episode, hopefully it's going to be a weekly thing. You will see what I have been doing throughout the week. I hope you like this new format. I am super excited. Let me know in the comments below what you think about it. I can be found under the handle Seemonay, Seemonay on Instagram, YouTube, and on Ravelry. That's where I'm usually at. And yeah, check me out over there. Let's start and see you soon. Someone pressed stop, so I didn't film a thing. Let me start with the paper stuff that I created. You saw some of it in the clip before. I added a new insert into this notebook. This is my regular planner that sits on my desk right next to me every day throughout when I'm at home. And I use this to write down my to-do list, my weekly to-do list. There is a weekly insert from Hobonichi in the back where I just make a rough outline of how the week is going to look like. I added this notebook. It is a cut down Muji insert with grid, and I am using this to add my Spanish vocabulary. I am learning Spanish with Duolingo, and I just need a space to write down new vocabulary because I learn through writing. So it's not just enough to look at the things. I also need to write them with a pen on paper. So that's what I'm doing. And I started stamping the date when I add the vocabulary, but I'm not sure I'm going to continue that. This is how this looks. I asked on Instagram stories where or what I should be using, what people would suggest. And then it dawned on me that why not just put it into the notebook that I use most. So that's that. I made a journaling spread in my Hobonichi weeks, which is right here. I filmed along, so this will be coming to my channel sometime soonish. I still have to catch up or publish the ones from the end of the year and the beginning of the first year, but so far I had originally planned to film or to journal on the weekend, but that hasn't happened yet. And it's okay because I take notes in my Hobonichi Cousin right here. This is my journal and another journal for other things. And on the monthly spread, I take notes of what happens every day. And so I can go in the beginning of the next week, I can go and look at all of those things and then use them to complete or create my journaling spread. So that works really well. I have been doing that on Tuesdays for some reason. Mondays are for grocery shopping, and then Tuesdays I go and do the fun stuff. I also started to set up, this is the other part of my planner. If you haven't watched any of the previous videos, I will link some of the relevant ones down below. And then I hope as we go along, and if you continue watching, you will get a good grip on all the creative things I'm using. So this is my January monthly view. And then I have set up the February monthly view. Again, I somehow gravitate towards pink right now. I used stickers because I need to use my stuff. Added some happy mail and just made sure for some reason, working in this format, setting up a monthly view visualizes it, and I can actually understand what it means. How many weeks are still out until my kids are off from school for a week, for instance. All of that is necessary. Oh, this is what my hair looks like when it hasn't been washed. And I'm not using the right shampoo right now either, but not important. Alrighty, so there's that. I am in this one every day, all the time. This one I pull out when I set up my week, when I do my weekly review. Then I look at this because I usually have the information that I need for the current week in here. But it is definitely necessary to take a look at it. This one is my folder, and I was going to talk about this alongside this Hobonichi Weeks. I have pulled this out. I think Muji wants you to use this as a travel folder. This one folds out and you could put in a map or a program. I used my embroidery thread, I don't know if you can see this right here, and stitched down. So I compartmentalized this big one into lots of smaller ones, and I cut down the paper so that they're like folders. And what I do is when I get happy mail, when something comes in from a shop that I ordered, Patreon happy mail, I will add these things, and then I will go in order when I journal in here, and I have something in here to use for my decorative spread, or the decoration side of my spread. This has been working really nicely, so I really want to continue that because it helps me. I'm already started somehow. I don't have to rummage through all the things to find what I want to use to create a page, and also it kind of makes sure that I use the new stuff, the one that excites me the most now, and not put it into a box and forget about it and hoard it. Talking about Happy Mail, I received 2 letters from, one is from, let me check if, like this maybe, so you can't really see my address like that. So this one is from Amy. Her Instagram handle is Live with Lily Coy Journals, probably, Amy. This one is from Tamara, My Happy Place. She is currently residing in Belgium, but she's German. And in the beginning of the year, when we talked on Instagram about pen pals, and so she reached out and asked if we would try and start something. So that is super exciting, and I need to reply. She sent me this beautiful card, like right here. I haven't opened this yet, so maybe I should do that right now. Ooh. Some washi flakes. There is these stickers. Wow, where is the camera here? Right here, probably, yes. Oops. That works. Here, and then scissors. Little tiny things that I will definitely use, and so I need to take them out and put them into my folder so I can use them in tandem. And Amy sent me this handmade notebook that she bound herself. It looks so, she stamped and wrote this. I love it. I need to find a good use for it though. Alrighty, I have one more thing to share, which is this one. This is a project that I started for January. I have uploaded a video about all of my 3 January projects. This is how far we have come. This is my son's. This is mine. Every day we pick one of the animals from here and draw them. And even though my son is like sometimes rolling his eyes because I call him and tell him, yeah, we have to draw, he enjoys it. So it's like these 5-minute connection time, and it's fun. I also made some envelopes to send Happy Mail, and I sent 4 letters. I love them. So I'm really trying to make the promise to myself true, that sending out Happy Mail and maybe getting the Happy Mail fix in by getting mail from other people instead of buying from a shop to get Happy Mail, maybe that will work for this year. Moving on to fiber, there's not a lot to say there. I have, in the clip you saw me organizing first of all, I took my knitting needles with me when my son got a dental cleaning last Monday. And so I sat in the car, listened to a podcast, The Stationery Cafe. I especially love their happy hour ones where Kelly and April from Penguins Creative. So I took it with me, and I really like listening to their podcast. It doesn't really matter when you have to just listen in small increments because they share nice stationery finds. However, it is very, very tempting. So if you're not very strong, then I wouldn't recommend it because it will be very expensive. However, it is still really great to hear them talk about all the things. I was able to knit up both sides actually. So I usually swap, switch. I knit a color, then I switch to the other sock, knit this color, knit the next color, catch up with this color, then knit the next, and so on. So I am already up here, and I will knit this color on both socks, and then I will already start adding in the heel, not just a needle felt, but there's 4 in each one. I knit them on DPNs, double pointed needles. And I really enjoy the process. This is how I learned knitting. I don't really have to think about it much. I know lots of people don't like handling 4 needles, but it hasn't been a problem for me ever, so why should I change something that works for me at the moment? So yeah, I'm going to finish both colors, or this specific color, on both socks, and then I'm going to start adding in the heel using this contrasting. It is very wine red. I really like the colors, and I really enjoy this colorway. The yarn that I'm using is from the Cozy Knitter, and it is their Advent colorway for 2020. It's okay. I just realized that I truly enjoy self-striping yarn, and it doesn't really matter if it's an Advent calendar. I just like that it's so easy to see the progress when you switch the colors and then you knit them at the same time. And yeah, I enjoy that simple process. And then I got rid of a card, a Raskol card that I set up as a sewing card. It did not work the way that I don't have a craft room or anything, and it was just spare. It didn't have a home. I'm not sewing as much as I was used to sewing. I was obsessed with sewing when my children were smaller. It just brought me so much joy. And now when I know that I want to, or even if I want to sew, I still feel so much stress. But I want to, so I just put it away. I put the fabric somewhere into the boxes. I put the projects into bags. I categorize them. I have them on my UFO list, and I will then get to them or not, and then at a later date decide. So that's something that I'm really trying to work on, is getting rid of unfinished objects throughout this year. And if I haven't touched any of the projects that I just backed up, by the end of this year, they can go, because then they're just, well, let me rephrase that. Maybe I will keep them, but I will not feel guilty about having them until I get to a point when they are cluttering my space and I need the space for something else. Then I know this can go. But I pulled out all the mask fabric. I had sewn some in the summer. Yeah, I need to make more. They are really dirty. When you work at a food making facility, Starbucks in this instance, and there's mocha and it stains, and then sometimes I get bleach on the mask, it looks really nasty. And I still have fabric cut out, so I just need to use it and sew it. And so I will get to that soon. I have categorized my project, so if I really want to, I can just grab it and get my machine and get going. That's the fiber. Let me talk about the food, and I need to pull out my my Hobonichi, where I wrote down all the things that I want to talk about, and I did talk about. we made lemon chicken orzo soup. Love this. If you have never had it, I highly recommend making it. I will link a recipe that I started using down below. I am using chicken breast. I'm not the chicken thigh person, so I'm just using chicken breasts. I also found on Half Baked Harvest the 30-minute Indian coconut butter cauliflower. This is so delicious. This is my favorite meal right now. It's super easy. It really just takes barely 30 minutes, and the flavor that you get out of it is just tremendous. And then my son, for some reason, he is a foodie. He really enjoys making food. He makes lunches for himself. He made quinoa burritos, breakfast burritos the other week. And so he was into baking, and he wanted to bake muffins, but we didn't have baking tins, or yeah, is that what you call them? I refused to buy metal ones or the coated ones. I do not like the silicone forms because they're so wobbly. I don't want anything with metal because they're just not lifelong forms. But I had the fabulous idea to look for either Pyrex or ceramic baking forms, and they do have porcelain muffin forms. So I bought a set of 6 muffin things. They're expensive, like a lot more expensive than metal ones, but I figure if those will definitely last a lifetime if I don't drop them, they are worth the investment. I just don't want to throw away these tins. It doesn't make sense. It's waste. Adding waste to a pile that is always growing. And then we also made Hefezopf, which is challah. I will link the German recipe if you're interested. It's super easy, love it. I make it on Friday, and my kids finish it by Monday, and they love it tremendously. So then first he made chocolate chip cookies, triple chocolate chip cookies. He adjusted our regular recipe with Nutella, chocolate chips, and cocoa powder, and then he made triple chocolate chip muffins, and that's it for food. I have been reading The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune over the past 2 weeks, and I did read it or stretch it over that long time frame because I just thoroughly enjoyed reading it. It is such a, heartwarming story. Not because it's so simple, but because it makes you see the world from a different place, or makes you start thinking about the world in a different way. And the way he uses the images that he uses is just awesome. I really would like to read another book by this author just to see how they compare to this one. I highly recommend. There is so much highlighted in this book that I'm actually thinking about getting the hard copy, just because I read it on my Kindle, just because I want to mark this up and highlight all the things that I think are worth noting. This is how good it is. What I especially loved about this story is I'm turning 44 in 2 weeks. So I am almost, or probably the same age as the 2 male adults in this book. And it felt the love story that is going on, the romance that is going on between these two is just so, relatable on some point. And it was so nice to read a love story, not by hot teenagers, but by middle-aged men, just like I'm almost middle-aged. So that was really cool, about just something that I have never read before, and it just felt right. I have been watching YouTubers. I have 2 recommendations for you. I stumbled across Heather Mattern through a recommendation from Brie from Documented Journey. I watched the video where she talked about sketching through Create December, and I just thought that she was such an, I don't know, relatable person again. For me, the relatable is, I guess, the thing that draws me in all the time. And I put lots of her videos into my watch later list. I can't wait to watch more of her. Check her out, check this specific video out, because I watched it and it is really good. And the other one that I really enjoyed watching and listening to the thoughts that she had was the Crimson Stitchery. That is actually a knitting podcast, but what she was talking about, no stash quest. And her last year she tried to go stashless, and the experiences that she made that year are highly relevant to the things that I am trying to do this year. The shop your stash, think twice or even 3 times about why you want to purchase right now. So that was definitely food for thought that was relevant to my own stash adventures. And if you need more inspiration, definitely check out that specific video as well. What else is new? I am self-isolating and I got tested for COVID for the very first time today. I will see how that goes. I definitely have a lot more time now because, yeah, I'm staying home until next Monday, next Tuesday. If I am not COVID positive, I will be returning back to work. But that has definitely been an interesting ride this past 2 days when I was notified that I had been in close contact, working closely with my favorite person at Starbucks for the past week. And then, yeah, so I guess what I want to say is it happens to everyone. You are not safe just because you do your part. They did their part as well. It just happened. And wear your mask and stay safe. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to do this on a regular basis. I will definitely be back next Monday because I don't have any place to go. And I hopefully will be able to share a lot more than this week because I have all the time in the world. So I'm going to go get editing and I can't wait to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments below. I am very excited, so please don't say you don't like it. Okay, goodbye until next Monday or Tuesday. We will see how that is going to work. Bye.